I'm going to start with one that I've been eyeballing for a while. Less tomorrow. Which looks really cute. This guy even added his phone number. I'm not going to make any phone calls. Sorry, I'm not going to call anybody. But I would love to read this letter. That's really, really cute. So in case you're wondering why Ringo's by himself, he's being quarantined right now. Oh, look who's joining us. Hey, Carl. Ringo is sick, guys. Ringo's not feeling himself. The way you give animals a second chance is amazing. And the way you love each and every one, no matter where they come from or how broken they are, reminds me of how special people like you are in this world. Oh, man. Okay, now hold on a minute. I shouldn't be feeling emotional right now. I'll tell you why. Because I'm on testosterone. Hold on. So this might be legit tears. This might not just be from me being a... Hey folks, Lester here. I am hanging out in the Littles pasture, but I'm inside their little barn, the Littles barn. I will show you real fast. I do have some friends with me. I have Carl. Hey Carl. Hanging out with Carl. And over here I do have, well, there goes Ringo. Cornholio's over here to the side. So we may be visited here and there by one of the babies. Hey Carl. We'll see how that goes. Today, I'm only going to be reading some letters. I've gotten a few letters in the mail. Give me a second. There we go. Today, I'm only going to be reading a few letters. We have some really neat gifts and goodies here, but I want to save that for a separate video. Letters sometimes take a little while to get through, and I think I have 5 of them. I'm going to start with one that I've been eyeballing for a while. Less tomorrow. Which looks really cute. This guy even added his phone number. I'm not going to make any phone calls. Sorry, I'm not going to call anybody. But I would love to read this letter. I normally... Y'all hear that? So I guess I'm also being joined by Pig Trudy. Okay, so let me see here. Man, there's all kinds of stuff in this one here. All right. Wait a minute. Okay, so this says, I'm gonna read this to you. I don't need my glasses here. That's Trudy that you all hear. Dear Les Tomorrow, can my dad live with you? Oh, okay, this is kind of sad. He is homeless. Okay, well, I can't allow anyone to live with me. I already have Jamie for that, and along with all these babies. But I do feel bad for your dad. What's this little guy's name? I love you, Jack. His name is Jack. And Jack sends this. Anyway, sorry, Jack. I really am sorry about your dad being homeless. I hope that all that works out okay. And then he sends a picture which shows his mom, and I guess that's curly hair. I hope those are not tears. So, listen, I thought that because Ringo's by himself, he would leave me alone, but I don't think he's going to. And he also attached one last thing, which may be something that he made. Look at that. That's really, really cute. So in case you're wondering why Ringo's by himself, he's being quarantined right now. Oh, look who's joining us. Hey, Carl. Ringo is sick, guys. Ringo's not feeling himself, and he has this horrible cough. I made a couple of videos about it, and we're trying to doctor him up and get him well without him spreading that cough to somebody else. So he's here with me, and he's being pretty sweet. Hey, Jack, I'm sorry about your dad being homeless. That would be really tough. You know, even after Hurricane Harvey, when I lost my home, I always say how blessed I was to still have a barn. a place I could go to out of the shelter, out of their elements. And it took some work to convert that into a home. But man, I feel bad. I feel bad for that, because not only do I see the letter that his dad's homeless, and he's offering his dad, he wants his dad to come live with me. But no, we can't take in your dad right now. But I do hope that your dad is able to fix all of that and find a place and get back on his feet, because I can't imagine how that feels. Seriously, I can't imagine how that feels. Even though I can sort of imagine. All right, so what I'm opening now, I love this handwriting. Isn't it the most beautiful handwriting? You do know that kids are no longer taught how to write cursive in school. In this digital age that we live in, they don't feel like, most school boards do not feel like they should include cursive handwriting in the curriculum. And that's sad to me, because kids they're growing up not knowing how to write that way or how to read someone that still writes in cursive. So it is a forgotten art. It will be lost, just like so many things in life. Over time, that right there will become obsolete. And so that saddens me, because I've always loved pretty handwriting. Uh-oh. Well, so I'm seeing a check in this, and guys, I know, here I go. I'm going to, you're gonna have to hear Lester go off on a little bit of a rant. I'm not gonna rant. I'm in really good spirits right now, but it breaks my heart when people send this money, because I just want you to use that money for yourself, for you and your family. And a lot of you are gonna say, but Lester, duh, if I didn't have money, I wouldn't send it. And that's true for the most part. But there are people, y'all, who we get letters from who write to us about being on a fixed income, but they still wanted to send $5, $10, $20. And then we had some folks who talked about, we got money when they got their, the pandemic money. I forgot what they called that. They gave out some money to help folks during the pandemic. And some people were sending some of that money to us. And I was like, no, I'm not. It's not that I'm ungrateful. I'm not an ingrate. But we are so blessed right now. And we're all the bills are being paid. And just by watching these videos and putting up with those annoying ads, we're going to get a few dollars from that. So we're going to be fine financially. So I would rather y'all just keep your money. Seriously, there are, we do have a link on our page. Under every video, it says become a supporter. That's on the Facebook pages. And that was an option that Facebook allowed us. And they also had different sets amount. We chose the smallest amount that Facebook would allow. And we did that so people who have this need in this, they want to pay a blessing forward by giving, that would be a way they could do it. And it would be a very, very minimal thing. And we've always taken that money and we turned it in directly to something tangible here on the farm. And if you don't already know this, there's a lot of videos that many of you guys don't see because I make them for the supporters only. Those people that do that. It's kind of a way to give back. So for you folks that do send a check or things, thank you, but please, I would rather y'all just keep your money for yourselves. And if you are determined, if you just have your heart set on doing something financial, do it through the supporter link on the page. And that way it's minimal. It's $2.49, I believe. And I keep looking down because Ringo is actually loving on me. He doesn't feel good. And he's loving me. He's not being mean. I didn't bring a snack to give him, or I would... Actually, you know what? I do. Hold on. Hey, Ringy. Trudy, come here. Look, I got the prize. Carl! Come on, Carl! We're going to hope that will tide him over for a little bit. But if he does come back, I'll give him more. Yeah, it's always made me uncomfortable talking about money. But I also know that a lot of folks get a true blessing out of giving. So by that supporter tab, we give you an option to give. It's safe, it's minimal, nothing, extravagant, and we always show folks directly where that money goes. When you send a check, I have to deposit that into my bank, and then even though I give you my word, we're not indulging on anything fancy. You just can't see directly where it goes because I really don't know where it goes. I normally use the I'm a Survivor money for I'm a Survivor projects. This barn here was built not too long ago. We have the big barn where the stalls are at. This is sad. So Ringo, he feels so bad he won't even eat the animal crackers. What does that tell you? Let me look at him for a minute. Y'all watch. I love you. I do love you so much. Everybody loves you, Ringo. Everybody loves Ringo. Y'all tell him how much you love him. See, he doesn't feel good though. And he doesn't even want an animal cracker. What does that tell you? It's funny because I've always been told that when your kid is sick, even though you take their temperature, what you need to learn to do is you can gauge more on your child's demeanor than you can on that temperature. And so when I see Ringo not wanting to eat, it scares me. I don't know what we would do around here without him. And so I hope that he kicks this and gets well and he'll be back to his old self in no time. All right, this is gonna require my glasses. It says, Dear Jamie, Lester, and family, good day. I truly love what y'all do for the farm babies. I know. Oh, even though I brag about being able to read cursive there. This is my time to thank you and other great farmers for helping me through. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get to the letter now. Y'all just keep Ringo in your prayers. Listen, he wants love and attention right now. I feel so bad for him. He doesn't want to be mean to me. He just wants love and attention. Dear Jamie, Lester, and family, good day. I truly love what you guys do for the farm animals. I'm trying to thank you for helping me through and surviving cancer episode. So I'm going to not read every word because sometimes you don't know if someone wants to tell their story to all of us or just share that story with me. So she talks about how she's on a long recovery, and through all of this, she has been able to kind of take a mental break and escape through our pages. And I have said this a few times before. I love the end here. She says, I now have a new lease on life. Isn't that true? That you sometimes don't appreciate things. Now, I'm not saying that's how she was. She never said that in this letter. But for anybody who has found themselves, I would say mostly sick, but in so many different things, you could find yourself divorced at an age of your life where you never thought you would be missing your life partner. Or you find yourself sick. Or you find yourself going through, just some type of ordeal. Ringo's going to have a snack after all. And so it does kind of give you an appreciation for things that we may have taken for granted. And so I like it that people can come to the page and find an escape from that, a temporary escape. The page is not going to heal you of those things that you're going through, but time will. I hope you heard what I just said. This page in itself is not going to heal you, guys. You're still going to have trust issues once the video's over. You're still going to struggle with whatever sickness, you suffer from or suffer through. You're still going to feel the loss of that loved one who's you're divorced from, or you're separated from, or if they passed away. You're still going, you're going to still have those things, but it is an escape. And I know that for a fact. Just making the videos, guys, sometimes help me escape from some things that I'm dealing with. And of course, there's also pages that I watch that kind of take me, or channels that I watch on TV, movies that I watch that help me escape from my reality. And I really do love the fact that you have discovered that about yourself, and you have a new lease on life, and you're going to beat this cancer. It is I'm sure it's a long recovery, but I am so blessed that you're able to use this page to help you along. No. Hold on a minute. Look at the president on that one right there. That's LE. Man, if I was to go to the Dollar General and try to, oh Lord. Look at the $5 bill. Wait a minute, so hold on. LE is the $1. I'm the $5. What's coming up next? Oh, my little Lex. He looks like a cartoon character. And then, of course, Jamie as the 50. Now, wait a minute. There's another one. Who could the last one be? Oh, look at that. All right, so I was going to get on to you for sending money, but now I see what you've done there, and I guess I can only smile. That is awesome. She did send $1 to, you know why she did that? Just to aggravate me. Yeah, it's pretty bad when you get to know your Facebook or your YouTube friend and family member so much that you know how to aggravate them. Thank you. I'll put that to good use. I can't wait to show that off. All right, let me get my cheaters back on here. Whoopsie. All right, here we go. Greetings, Lester. Now I know what you're going to say at first glance. Oh, but you should take a closer look at what the money really is. Please note there was no specifics on who was placed on what. The only one specifically chosen was the $100 bill because I'm a Survivor is worth way more than $100 in my life. Ringo literally stuck his horns right between my legs, and all he needed to do was one of those and I would be on the ground. But he didn't do it. He just wants me to touch him. That's obviously his love language, and so I'm going to try to read this to you and scratch his head at the same time. And like I said, the treats didn't work. He's not in the mood to have a treat right now. And I know that bell is annoying the heck out of you. But I really want to read this letter. The way you give animals a second chance is amazing. And the way you love each and every one, no matter where they come from or how broken they are, reminds me of how special people like you are in this world. Oh, man. Okay, now hold on a minute. I shouldn't be feeling emotional right now. I'll tell you why. Because I'm on testosterone. Hold on. So this might be legit tears. This might not just be from me being a... I'm trying to figure out what's going on inside of me right now. Hold on. So I do want you to know that I had taken some antidepressants about a month ago that I was not happy with. And because they rid me of every emotion, I couldn't feel anything. I felt nothing. I was like a walking zombie, just like going through life, going through the motions, and I had no feelings whatsoever. None. No emotions at all. And I didn't like that because it affected my life in a lot of ways, not just because I was no longer able to make a fool of myself in front of you all, but I just didn't feel alive. I felt I was alive, but I didn't feel it. And so I went back and I says, I can't take this. And I'm glad I did, because at that point, the doctor decided to do some blood work, and it come to find out that it might not be as much of the depression and the anxiety and everything else going on inside of my body as what I thought it was, as what I had been told previously. But in reality, my hormone levels, the testosterone in my body was lower than what it should be. And this doctor explained the importance of having your testosterone levels, your hormone levels at the right place, at the right, as you age. And because as he began to list off, Ringo's back. As he began to list off the number of things going on inside of me here and here, I began to realize that he's right. And hopefully, if we got the right testosterone levels flowing inside of me now, it was going to fix a whole lot of things that were broken. And so one of those things, what I thought was going to be fixed, is me getting so emotional so easily. And so when you write this in this last sentence of this first paragraph, I love the way that you love these babies no matter where they come from or how broken they are. It reminds me of how special people like you are in this world. And I don't know why, that makes me feel emotional, because we do love these babies, and they do come to us mostly broken. As a rescue and as a forever home, there's not many animals come to you in the prime of their life. We do get that occasional gem, that diamond in the rough, with your Voodoo or your Annie. But even those babies are in a way broken. Annie had pretty much been, she was wild and she needed to be tamed. And she's a work in progress, but she's an amazing animal that someone could have sold for thousands of dollars. And instead they surrender us to a forever home. Of course, Voodoo, we know Voodoo was abused. So you know what, I guess what I'm trying to say is, not every animal looks to be broken. Let me show you. This is something that you don't know about. Look at Mr. Ringo's ears. Can I look at your little ear? Show them your half ear that's been bitten off. He's gonna be so upset with me for doing that. But, so Ringo is a rescue from a dog attack. The same as Jan. That our little Jan turkey, dog attack. Pig Trudy from her mother. Trudy's a feral hog. And her mother was run over on the side of the road. And we're guesstimating that she was about 3 days old when we got her. Well, this is good news. Ringo and Trudy are going to go in the other pasture. I'm hoping that I can close the gate. So in case you're saying, wait, don't put Ringo near the other goats. That's only during feed time. I didn't mention that part. There we go. Ringo can't be with the other babies during feed time. That's when they can spread this to other goats. Just him coughing alone, the air is not gonna spread. It can't spread through the air. There. But I am Ringo free now. But a lot of our babies are broken in different ways, abandoned, abused, neglected. And there are some that come from amazing homes, but the owner just could no longer care for them. Now, for a moment, here's a little bit into my story. Oh, and the fake money. I was finishing my last year of undergrad when COVID hit. And one night, I packed up my life and moved 400 miles back home to New York. In August, I uprooted again to Ohio to pursue my PhD in chemistry. During this move, I found myself very alone in the virtual world that education became. I know about that. I couldn't handle it. Zoom. Zoom. Never heard of Zoom until I became a teacher who taught through Zoom. And it does feel lonely. Even though I was home all day, every day for so many months, it was lonely. I missed my kids, my students. For me, your videos gave me hope and a sense of not being alone anymore. Oh. Now you have become a part of my daily routine like many others. Watching the gift and goodies always warms my heart, and I've wanted to contribute, but as a struggling college student, money is not often in excess. I thank you for saying that. I don't want your money. And I really do believe this might be the only page you're going to ever find who says, don't send us any money. That's not what we're here for. It never has been, and it never will be. Don't send us your money. You know, Jamie and I live in a double-wide mobile home. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of that. If you knew how many pages that I have watched over the years that have begun to monetize and they have changed their entire lifestyles. And one of the first things is they upgrade homes. They upgrade homes, or they get a vacation home where they spend all their time. You all probably know, I know that we should watch some of the same pages, and you probably know what I'm referring to. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you found a way to make it in the world financially and you want to do that, then by all means, man, you hustled and you worked and you found a way to better your I don't want to say your livelihood, because I promise you something. A lot of those rich folks are going to find themselves just as alone as they ever did when they were here. We made a video of our above ground pool. Jamie and I did a little fun thing in our above ground pool. And there was a couple of comments on there about, and I'm like, yeah, I have an above ground pool. It's a place where me and my children have grown up playing basketball, pool volleyball, Marco Polo, you know, where you really are cheating, Polo, Marco. And I wouldn't change that for anything, Now, if I ever get too old to climb that ladder and climb back out of the ladder, fine, maybe I'll just go to the pond, okay? But money has allowed us to have a tractor. Money has allowed us to build a barn. A real barn with 4 stalls. Money has allowed us to have a riding mower. Money has allowed us to build fences around the property. But listen to me, and you better hear this. I feel like this video is running on forever already. I'm only on my 3rd letter. But we don't want your money. Jamie works, I work. We're fine on money. Don't ever make this page be about money. Ever. We're blessed for those that sin, but we'll make it without it. And I know you're saying, Lester, just shut up and read the letter. Listen to me. This is worth its weight in gold to me, because this is my escape from my loneliness, from my dark thoughts. This is how I quantify my life. This kind of stuff is how I feel like I'm contributing. What's wrong with me? Can't find a doctor who can fix me for nothing. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and put a few more pellets in, Doc. Go ahead, stick it to me. This is what I need. So thank you. Whew. You have made some statements about how you stack hay. Now I'm thinking about it, and I figured I would do the math for you so you don't have to go and experiment. The last piece of paper has the math. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Would you look at this? Seriously. I am not going to bore all of you with this, but I'm going to go inside the house and have Ellie and Jamie sit down with me and figure this out. And I've also told myself I'm not going to change it this year. What's done is done, but I am going to use this, and next year, which will be next summer when we get that first cutting of hay. Man, what's your name? Girl, what is your name? Kate? Kate, next year, that's on you. If it's an ultimate disaster and a mess, it's on you. Please, folks, I'm going to forget her name by then. Kate. But it's going to come from Kate. Man, she gives me 4 different scenarios. She has, my God, she's done everything, y'all. She's done some homework here. I'm just gonna go to the bottom line, and she says, if I'm reading this correctly, that the way I have it, I'm only able to get, I think she says 52 rolls. Anyway, okay. Let me read her last sentence here. Anyway, thank you for the joy you bring to the world. See, that's just crazy to me. The world? Why me? Why us? But thank you through the videos. And thank you for opening your lives and allowing us viewers to become part of your family with lots of love. Thank you. Kate O. All right, Kate O. I hope you know that you've just opened yourself up to a lot of criticism. Come next year, and anyone who's going to freeze this, there's going to be some math people who's going to take a screenshot of your drawing and they're going to do their own analysis. But you know, for as many times as I have addressed that hay issue, this is the first person who has actually acknowledged it and thought it through mathematically, or at least the only one who's taken the time to draw it all out and tell me the layout. I have 2 more, and I'm going to go fast because I'm watching the timer, and I know the analytics of the page. I know you guys don't have time for this. All right, so it's a beautiful card from Mary. Look at that. Many blessings. Thank you to you and your family. And then we have a letter. Here we go. Lester, as I sit here watching Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Now, that was the video that I played last weekend where Ringo beat the hell out of me. Sorry for that word choice, but that's where the blood comes from. And then the sweat. Guys, it's hot. I'm in the shade today, and this barn is built so that the southern breeze, it blows right through here. I love it because look, I'm not even sweating. It's noon. It is noon. It's noon. And I'm in the barn and I'm not even sweating. And there's a very soft breeze that's blowing right through here that keeps me fairly cool. And so that was where the sweat came from. So blood, Ringo, sweat from the sun. I was out there by the cemetery just sweating my tail off. And then the tears. Man, a lady wrote me a letter about losing her home to a fire. And she brought back a whole lot of memories that I had from losing the home in a flood. And she began to interrelate our 2 stories and how similar they were, how parallel our lives were. And she also reminded me of things that I had kind of like pushed aside. And your mind does that. Your mind has ways of pushing things away and kind of suppressing things. And so that's where the tears came from. And so I just called it Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Man, Ringo beat me up bad, guys. Anyway, I sit here watching your Blood, Sweat, and Tears video, finding myself wanting to hug you. And in Texas, we are huggers. In this day and age, man, you don't put your hands on people. We tell them in school, this is your personal space. No one can invade your personal space unless they're invited. Obviously, boyfriend, girlfriends, you invite one in or the other. But for the most part, that kind of eliminates a lot of pushing, shoving, jabbing, thumping on ears, stuff that kids do. But here in Texas, I am one that says, you know what, I'm never going to change that. No matter how much society may change, I'm I'm not a touchy-feely person. Don't think I'm some kind of weirdo creep. I'm not going to hug my kids. But if a kid comes up to me, a student I mean, and wants to hug, then I'm not going to ever turn them down. No, we side hug. You know what a side hug is? We teach our students to side hug. You never embrace a kid front on for obvious reasons. But if a student, especially middle school, high school, wants to, they feel like they want to hug you, then we side hug. You know, we side to side, and that makes it a whole lot safer for everyone involved. The worst thing for a teacher is to ever have an allegation said about them. And I am so blessed that I finished 26 years in the classroom and never had to have an allegation, because allegations ruin careers. And so for L.E., who's going to start his career in teaching and coaching in the next year or so, it worries me. It worries me because I know, you don't know how many times I've been watching the news, or maybe you've watched the news and you see it again. You see it again, teacher on paid leave, pending further review by an allegation. But the problem is that teacher's face is already right there. And we naturally think, oh man, what a perv, or whatever we think. And that's so sad to be so judgmental, because I don't know if I could even say 9 times out of 10, but many times that teacher had found of no wrongdoing, except his career as a teacher is already over from that allegation. Anyway, let me move on. I too have struggled with mental health issues for quite some time. In this season of my life, I've become a sole caretaker of my mother, who is in ill health and housed. Okay, I am her only human contact. Forgive the use of the word. I try not to use it much. I don't really know the word. I actually skipped over it because I don't even know the word. Lately, your videos have given me a break from the reality of my life, which in all honesty can be quite a struggle on my mental health. Enough of that. I just felt the need to reach out to you and say thank you for sharing with all of us your pain and your struggle. There is no shame in it. As for me, it lets me know I'm not alone when I find myself struggling. Please continue. Many blessings to your entire family. So here's what I'm going to say about that. I have one more to go if y'all are still with me. Many have already dropped off, and I understand. The hardest thing about talking to people about your mental health is that unless they have also experienced it, they don't get it. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but if I guess my mom and my dad were the first ones who realized there's something going on with me, but they didn't get it. And so talking to mom and dad, I guess asking for help. I guess my dad's mentality was man up, and that's the generation. Nothing against my dad. You guys who know my dad, you love him. But my dad his mentality is suck it up, son, wipe some dirt on it, and let's go. And so I would. For years, I'd just suck it up, wipe some dirt on it, and go. And then, of course, mom, her answers were to, well, Lester, consult the Bible. You should read the Bible, Don't get onto me for not. But I've already told you, I am as spiritual a person as any of you, but I'm not religious. I hope you know what I mean by that. I'll say it again. I am as spiritual as any of you, but I am not religious. And my son knows that. And right now with L.E. looking for spirituality and trying to find it through religion, you already know that and how we've struggled through that. So like I said before, I find God in everything around me. I bless my food and I ask for help, and I pray for my kids and their well-being. And I will get down on my knees as fast as anybody seeking guidance and help and counseling. But my mom was convinced that it was because I lack a relationship with God because I didn't attend church, because I refused to let my gifts working with kids, extend into flies. I did not take on a youth group. I did not work with church kids. And so no matter how much I've accomplished through my teaching career, it was never enough for my mom, because I wasn't using my gifts the way she says that God would have me use them. And so it was a dead end talking to mom and dad. I love my mom and dad, guys. Don't think that I'm downing or putting down my mom and my dad. But this is just my personal experiences with having to talk to somebody about the stuff going on in my head. And then, with Jamie, once again, she's in the medical field. And yeah, now of course she's in the OBGYN, so that doesn't really apply to a whole lot of what I was going through, but I would tell her, she would see me having a bad day or not myself, and it didn't help talking because she just didn't get it. I could see it on her face that she was, you people zone out. When they don't get it, they can't really feel your pain, and so they kind of like zone out. And maybe the first time they listen, and the next time they might listen, and by the third time, let's have a drink. Let's just have a drink. It'll pass. So as far as therapy goes, I've learned that talking to you, and not all of you. I remember when I made that gray goose video. Remember back to my gray goose video, and I asked if you're a gray goose. There were so many people who did not get the meaning behind the video. Man, there were some very profound and some really deep comments on there that knows that me and that person had this amazing connection. And other folks were like, well, buy her a partner. If she's so lonely, get her a partner. I'm not trying to, that sounds like I'm being mean to you, and I'm not. But it also shows that you're probably the person in life who's never dealt with being a gray goose, a loner, not fitting in, not having someone, to support you. You're probably your parents' favorite child. You're probably the kid who sat in the front row at school, the teacher's pet, and everyone just has always loved you, and you have tons of friends. And so that for that video, and for the folks who watched it, who all they saw was a literal gray goose, they didn't get the figurative part behind it. And I saw that, and I realized then that even though we're very blessed to have this page following, there's a lot of folks who follow the page that are here for different reasons, and they don't understand that side of it, the gray goose mentality side of it. Mary, I want to say thank you for being honest and sharing a piece of your story and your struggle. And that goes to all of you who've written. And it's hard to put yourself out there, for the little guy to admit that his dad is homeless and needs help, needs a place to live. For the college student who found herself virtually just alone in life. For the lady who's taking care of her mom, and this has been your escape from all of that. And it's tough, y'all. It's very, very, very tough. I want to say thank you again for loving us and for taking the time to write. A lot of folks don't do that anymore. It's a forgotten art, just writing in general. We can type, we can text, but we don't really write. And it means a lot to me. I'm still from that generation. Thank you guys for following the page, and I'm so blessed to be able to pay this blessing forward through the videos. It has, with me having my first year out of the classroom and kind of finding myself in a weird place of like, what am I going to do all day? I have my morning bus route, my afternoon bus route. And so reading these letters, opening these gifts, of course, loving these babies has been what I've consumed my mind with. And so I want to thank you for taking an escape from your days and allowing me to be a part of your life, for sharing your stories, as hard as it is to share some things. And just know that even though I may not know you individually, and more than likely will never ever have a chance to actually meet, I do feel a connection to the people who follow this page more than what you realize. I care about you. And every video, I don't know if you can tell this, but every video that I make is for you. I don't do it for me. You know, I'm blessed to live this lifestyle and see this every single day. And it makes me feel like I'm contributing and my life is being quantified by giving you something that helps you get through your days. And so for that, I'm very blessed. So thank you all very much.